Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to a special Tuesday edition of Submarine Mondays. Now you might be wondering, what's going on? What are you doing about Submarine Mondays on Tuesdays? Unfortunately, we had a problem with yesterday's episode. Now, Nek Trisnovic was so kind to point out that we made a small error in how we calculated one of the damage hits on our submarine. And actually, it was a lot more than a small error when you really come down to it. I'll explain in a second, but first of all, usually with like mistakes, I'm kind of the impression, I'm not trying to play a perfect game. And we're doing this more for fun and to enjoy the thinking challenges and stuff like that, and to tell the stories of some of these games and things like that. So, I'm not a perfectionist where things have to be perfect. And I'm generally thinking like, if you make a mistake, you're probably going to make like a half dozen or more mistakes over the course of a whole campaign or a whole game or something like that. And in general, they're probably going to wash out in the laundry, right? They're going to even out kind of thing. Some of them will work for us, some of them will work against us. But unfortunately, the mistake I made yesterday is a little bit bigger than that. So let me explain. There's an air escort attack chart column here. And basically, I read the results from the wrong column. I thought the left side was from 1941 to 1943, and the right side was for later than that, because there was an air attack modifier in that column as well. But as Nek pointed out, the right column is the column you use for air attacks, no matter what year it is. Now you might think, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal was because we rolled an 11, and we added 2 to it, which gets us a 13. And as we can see on the chart here, a 13 instead of 5 hits, which we calculated in our episode, is an automatic sunk. So yeah, our submarine really sank yesterday. That aircraft, that incredibly lucky aircraft, actually sank our submarine rather than just damaging it. So the bottom line comes down to, and I'm thinking, okay, should we go on and stuff like that? Should we play on? It's a mistake. They'll wash out in the laundry. This is kind of a bigger mistake though, right? And it's like, if we made it to the end of the war and we did really well, hanging over my head is still going to be this thing. Yeah, but really, your submarine sank in the second patrol, right? And so you didn't really win, kind of thing. And not that winning is super important to me. Like, I don't stake my self-esteem on playing these games well or anything like that. I just want to have fun and learn and get better and stuff like that. But at the same time, this feels a little bit bigger than that. I feel like we should live up to that mistake, right? And we're gonna do so. What I've decided is, long story short, I'm babbling on a little bit here. Our submarine sank. The skipjack sank, and all hands were lost, and that aircraft blew us out of the water. So that ends that patrol. I should say too, now one other thing I'll add now, just because it's kind of a special episode, and maybe I can ramble on a little bit about these. We rolled snake eyes twice in a row. The odds of doing that are like 8 in 10,000. And then we rolled an 11 and added 2 to it, get the 13. That was the automatic sinking result. And it was so unlikely. And I'm there like, people aren't. And then we rolled snake eyes like 3 rolls later on the next air attack and stuff like that. Like, the odds of that were like astronomically low. They're so low that I'm sitting there going, like, people aren't going to believe that this actually really happened. But I just want to clarify that I'm not messing with these at all. Whatever happens, happens. I don't have any self-esteem and like winning or losing in certain ways, or like tweaking the results to make them more or less interesting. Whatever happens in the games happens, and we just deal with it, kind of thing like that. I figured that's just, I think, the way you have to play, right? It's just, you're just gonna, whatever happens, happens. I don't re-roll anything. I don't fix anything or clean anything up. It's just whatever happens to us, and we just deal with it, kind of thing like that. So, but the fact was, the bottom line was, that was an incredibly rare result of die rolls for us to get that to happen to the skipjack yesterday. So it all goes back to on our very first patrol, right? On our very first patrol, in the very first kind of transit box, we rolled snake eyes and got air attacked. And as soon as that happened, I thought, this is a cursed ship. This just feels like an unlucky ship. And sure enough, that aircraft just took it to us. We were an unlucky ship, and it blew us out of the water. But, okay, so the question is, though, like, okay, why are you here? What are you telling me? The question is now, what do we do, right? So we got next Monday to think about. We're going to go on in Submarine Mondays. And so I have a question for it. I'm going to put a poll up. I can put up like one of those community polls. So my poll is going to be this. Next Monday, do we come back and do we start over with another campaign for Silent Victory and start at the beginning and see how we do? Or do we, I was going to do this game next anyway, do we slide right into By Stealth and Sea? from DVG Games, which is a game about Italian soldiers, Italian troops in World War II who would ride on torpedoes under the water and try to blow ships up. It's a cool solitaire game. I've mentioned of it in the shelf tour, the last shelf tour that we got. So I've been wanting to play that for a while. Or Raiders of the Deep. Now, Raiders of the Deep is a Compass Games game along the lines of The Hunters, The Hunted, Silent Victory, same kind of model, but built on U-boats of the Great War from 1914 to 1918. So I will happily play whatever one of those three games that people are interested in see us play next time. Go back to Silent Victory, Tried by Stealth and Sea, or Raiders of the Deep, U-boats of the Great War. And eventually I hope to kind of in Submarine Mondays to cycle through all of these games. So, if we don't do Silent Victory right away, we'd probably come back to it shortly after that. But let me know what you think in that poll. I'll put a link. I don't know if I can put a link to the poll, but it's on the channel. You should be able to see it. There's a little poll that says, which game will we play next, and then we can pick it. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the screw up. I just messed it up. But I feel like, again, it's a big one. And thanks for Nick for pointing it out. That was really helpful. Just completely missed that one. Let me know what we want to do next. Thanks so much for tuning in and have a great day, everybody. Bye.